Hello, everyone. Today's is going to be a brief philosophical interlude. I'm going to go into discussion about some philosophical thoughts I have. Maybe a future endeavor for me will be doing more philosophical lectures, like discussing more philosophical topics and ideonomies and concepts and vigors and systems and treaties and essays, and that to me would be a very redemptive and emancipatory thing. So today, my question, the topic is going to be: are there any objective answers in philosophy? Now, you can either take, say, an anomalous monistic or anomalous pluralistic, or even non-anomalously. So what is anomalous? Well, anomalous simply means where the substance monist entity involved in this hierarchical divisions of the self is rooted primarily in one onticity rather than a plurality of onticity simultaneously representing one onticity. So it's like a Platonist one rather than several mereological holistic selves represented in one. So I think that the notion of whether mereologically or metaphysically or epistemologically any true objective answer in philosophy exists depends on whether you're an absolutist about the nature of philosophical endeavors in general, and whether you believe that when a system is built in philosophy, if it's automatically to be questioned, kind of put up for the harnesses of the auctioneering of Socratic debate, or is it meant to be kind of eternally cherished and revered? And kind of held with the greatest honor, because these systems, according to the philosopher, are likely to be incorrigible facets of meta-reality, meta-axioms, say in Gödel's incompleteness theorems, or Tarski or Ruth Barkin's modal logic, predicate logic, contributions, and it goes into Kripke transworld identity of every possible school of thought too, as to whether the same philosophy, metaphysical incorrigibility in this world automatically translates to every ever possible world too. So I think that there's this real notion of what it means to be an objective believer in philosophy, like to believe in the existence of an objective realm, whether it's an objective Platonist realm or Thomistic realm, or hylozoistic or Montaigne or, Machiavellian even. So, or whether you're more subjectivist, say in the Husserlian or the Henry Bergson or the Mead Stein kind of, or Susan Sontag, Simone Weil, it all goes back to the notion of, in this universe, are we to be objectively objective or subjectively subjective, regarding the schools of all possible philosophies that can never exist? So I think that in truth, whether there exists an absolute truth in this universe and across all universes, really is a question of why, objectivity and subjectivity and objective subjectivity and subjective objectivity begin to exist in the first place. Now, is there a cosmogonic, is there a primordial explanation? I don't know. But what I can tell you is that philosophy to me has to be this emancipatory realm where the truth behind all truths is that sometimes there is no truth, sometimes there's monogamy truth, sometimes there's many value truth, sometimes there's ultra-fineness truth, sometimes there's Platinian, Saint Augustinian truths, which revolve around the hieratics of religious theology in the face of theodicies, like Euthyphro's dilemma. So I think that in ultimate truth, and this is kind of paradoxical to say it, but in ultimate truth, the notion of whether there is objective answers in philosophy may very well be a matter of perspectivism and transworld identity, given the possible world you're in, and whether it's kind of cross anchorites over, or cross synapses over into other possible realms. I'm kind of an ontological agnostic about, but you can be, I suppose, many valued about that as well, and say, well, in one hand, you can be systematic and believe the system describes an incorrigible facet of reality, and on the other hand, you can kind of be a nihilist about it, and both would make kind of semantic sense in some sub-quantum level if you use a many-valued logic. Now, is many-valued logic an incorrigible law? Well, by definition, be reduced to one anomalous monist entity. And whether it can be is a bit of a mystery. But my perspective ultimately on this is that it's better to be a perpetual Socratic questioner for a quantum computing extropian sense. And ultimately, I think that yes, while some systems of philosophy may be more closer to hedonistic calculus, maximality reality, or the maximality of all brain worlds and brain children in synchronicity, I think the ultimate answer is it depends on your brain child and depends on how much you love them. The system which you devotedly avow yourself to. So it's time to think of them in mentalistic terms, like John Searle terms, whether they're close. That's my view. So anyways, folks, I hope you have, or everyone watching out here, I hope you have all a great day. And my concluding wrap up on this argument is that the truth is that sometimes many value truths and monistic truths, as well as objective philosophical answers, and the argument that there are no objective philosophical answers because of hyper-relativity, both can all kind of parallelly exist and perpendicularly in some kind of exotic hyperbolic torus-like space-time manifold. And whether that has trans-world identity in our world may be very real, given simultaneously a monism and relativism in one Minkowskian reference frame. So I hope you have a good day and take care. Bye.